Playing DB is hard if you don't have a framework to approach the game. And what I mean by that is this. A lot of DBs line up at the snap and just react. They don't actually know what they're doing or trying to take away. They just know that they don't want to get beat. And when you play like that, you're always late. This play right here was made because of a framework, not by luck, not by guessing, not by just being pure athletic. There is a process happening in this DB's head. And once you understand that framework, that's when you can add your own playing style. Style without structure doesn't work at this level. That's why most DBs line up with no awareness. And that's exactly what's stopping them from making interceptions and PBUs. Now, look at this matchup and look at this image right here. At first glance, you'll say this receiver's on the bottom of the numbers. He's close to the sideline. That's basic, but lean in closer and really listen, because this is something they don't show on TV, the red line. Now, the red line helps receivers stay on a straight path downfield. It keeps them from drifting inside or outside, which can cause clutter on the field and make throws difficult. From a quarterback's perspective, a receiver staying on the red line is a good thing. It gives him more room to throw the ball towards the sideline. It creates a large window so the receiver can catch it. That's why receivers are coached to stay on it. Now, flip the perspective. From a DB's point of view, that red line becomes leverage. DBs also work to control the red line, not because it looks clean, but because it forces the receiver towards the sideline. And when you force the receiver towards the sideline, field shrinks, the sideline becomes a defender. So understand this. If the receiver releases outside, the odds shift tremendously in our favor. So right here, the decision is simple. Am I going to stay square and use the sideline, or am I going to chase speed and give the receiver space back inside? That decision determines the rep before the ball is even thrown. This is awareness. This is where interceptions and PBUs actually come from. Now, this is where science meets football. Your body center of gravity is generally around the pelvis or your lower abdomen. That matters. A receiver can give you all kinds of shakes at the line. Head fake, shoulder movement, arm action, but the hips won't lie. The hips have to go where the force is applied. If you train your eyes to understand that, you stop getting fooled by upper body noise. That's why I created DB Vision, because most DBs aren't bad with their feet or hands. Their eyes are just undisciplined. DB Vision trains you to ignore the noise and lock onto what actually matters. It forces your vision to stay where the truth is, not where the distraction is. When your eyes stay on the hips, that leads to great feet, and great feet leads to great hand placement. Now, here's a quick, easy fix that helps your feet move quicker at the line. Pay attention to the DB's feet. Notice how his feet start close together, and at the snap, his feet go out, but they don't go all the way outside his frame. A lot of DBs struggle here. I see around 75% of DBs with the same issue. They start in a normal stance, so when the ball snaps, their feet naturally get wide. If you start with your feet closer, when the ball snaps, your feet will still be inside of your frame, which allows you to move just as fast as the receiver at the line of scrimmage. This alone fixes a lot of early rep problems. Now, this is going to be a breakthrough for DBs who struggle with receivers closing space quickly and press. Watch the receiver come off the ball. He's trying to do one thing: control the space. But watch what this DB does. He hops back and he resets the line of scrimmage. This is a decision point. Do I let the receiver steal this space and take away my hands, or do I reset the line of scrimmage and force him to declare? That's not retreating, that's reclaiming leverage. Because think about it like this: if the receiver gains that space, your hands disappear, you can't use them, they become non-existent. By hopping back and resetting the line of scrimmage, the DB takes control of this space again. Now the receiver has to work. Now that this DB has gained control again, he can force the receiver to run a V. But the goal isn't just a V, it's a wide V. A narrow V still lets the receiver have a chance to stack you, especially if he stays skinny. A wide V stretches the route and it delays the timing. And how do you create that? With your hands. That's why hands and press are important, even delayed hands. Delayed hands still disrupt timing. They still affect spacing. They still change the route. Now, look how close this receiver is to the sideline. This is an extremely hard throw for any quarterback at any level. The window is small, the margin for error is gone. That's not luck, that's leverage. Now I'm going to destroy a belief a lot of UDBs have. You always hear turn for the ball, but there's one more battle to win before you do that, the hand battle. This is where DBs usually lose the rep. They turn for the ball before they won the hand battle. The decision here is simple. Do I fight for position first, or do I give the receiver control and hope the ball saves me? Look at this DB. He takes control of the receiver's inside hand. That matters because now the DB has a clear path to turn and play the ball. Watch the receiver. He's fighting for this position because he knows how valuable it is. And because the DB won the hand battle, he wins the rep. Winning the hand battle is a DB's gold mine. That's where interceptions come from. Not from guessing, from control. This is why framework matters. You're not guessing, you're not panicking, you're not reacting, you're controlling space. You're using the field, you're using leverage, you're winning battles in order. When you approach DB play like this, interceptions and PBUs stop being rare, they become predictable.